but I'll be with you for the next 40 minutes or so. This is Katie. She's the backup driver, so be nice to her, all right? Oh, better than that. Oh, really? I don't want a black eye.
I am never letting that one.
Did you get called up?
Yeah.
I'm right up in here.
Thanks. Sorry. Thank you.
Wave to all these nice people because we're not going to see them again. So.
Bye.
All right, when you hear the horn, you got the routine. Over here, that's our museum. If you want to see some of our old scooters, that's the 3 generations before we started using Fords again. All our scooters have been built right here on property from the frame up. This is the most dangerous part of this ride, though. This is Michigan roads and drivers. Her sunglasses fell off.
It's okay. We don't need them. They're cheap.
It's fine. It's from Amazon.
Do it with the beers at party. Hey, you lose that hat, that's your life.
Which is probably how it got that way. Someone did, yeah.
All right, these vehicles have excellent natural air conditioning, but if it's too cool for you, you just adjust your windows a little bit, all right? Now, most common things lost on his ride: hats, glasses, and children. Which one did you lose?
Glasses.
Glasses. Okay, so we'll see if you can survive. Your hat can survive it. So, all right. We don't stop for anything unless the child flies off. Then we will stop. So if you should have thrown a child out, then we would have stopped and we got your glasses back. So. Now, it's hard to believe when this ride started in 1930, Malcolm McWood, as he was called, he owned 400 acres over here at the south end of the sand dune. And his most complicated thing was getting across this water here to get to his sand property. So he just cut down trees and lay the logs across and head up there. That's how we got the name Termite Bridge, because the bugs are always eating the trees. They're rolling around, always a big mess. So this is a much better bridge. This one lasts about 2 weeks on average. And good news is nothing happened last week. So that's important to know. So when we go over, all you got to do is lift your feet up a little bit to lighten the load. And then maybe if that doesn't work, it starts creaking a little bit, you exhale, okay? Front seat never gets wet. No guarantees for the 4 of you in the back, though.
Right?
So I got the good holds.
All right, that's our pre-sale rack over to your right for people who lost items earlier this weekend. So good news is it's always half off. So if you bought something today, no big deal. Tomorrow you lose it, you get it for half the price. So it's nice. Welcome to the Silver Lake State Park, 2,000 plus acres of sand. We are on the south end. North end is where those trees are, and they're rising way over there, 3.5 miles. And we're a mile and a half wide. Silver Lake's on our right. We'll be there late in the ride. Lake Michigan's on your left. We'll be there about halfway through. So you'll get a good picture of the south end. I call it the south end because the dunes are divided into 3 big sections, south, middle, and north. North is straight in front of you where those wide open sands are. That is the ORV park, or off-road vehicles. That is for you to bring your personal vehicle. Come on up here from April 1 to October 31, 9 o'clock in the morning until sunset. And so when I say personal vehicle, most people bring trucks, Jeeps, Razors, quads, things like that, but you can bring whatever you want. I've seen minivans, Corvettes. I saw 2 school buses up there that go. The one's called High School, Cool School is the other one. And 2 weeks ago, I saw my first boat. Some guy brings a boat up.
Oh,
Put
yeah,
four
we
wheels
saw
in it,
that.
they slide around.
That guy with that stupid Crown Vic.
Yeah.
Always breaking down.
I did see the Crown Vic. I happened to be up there when the Crown Vic was up there. He did not make it up any of the hills. But I have to give him credit. My dad would have loved it. My dad had Crown Vic for the whole time it was out. It's operated. He had his little Hawaii license plate in front when my mom and dad went there for the 50th anniversary. He would have asked you for a ride. Now, the middle section is reserved for walkers. You can go from Silver Lake all the way to Lake Michigan, and it's safe because no vehicles can be in the middle part of the dunes. And if you want to come over to our area, you're welcome to come over here. Just got to be careful. Look for us. We'll look for you. If you come here in the winter, you don't have to look for anyone because they're not here. It's very quiet in the off season from October to April. 95% of residents are gone. 100% of the businesses are closed. It just shuts down. And so if you've never had an opportunity, if you don't live too far away, come here in the fall and the winter. It is gorgeous. It's very different than you see today. And then this last section over here, this 400 acres, well, like I said earlier, we owned it. We did up until 1976. So in 1976, there were 2 big sections privately owned. We had 400. There's 400 on the north end. That was owned by Bill Lathers. He owned Bill's Dune Rides. They operate out of what is now Craig's Cruisers. Now, state bought both of our properties the same year. Bill's property they gave to the ORVs. So they went from having 200 acres to over 600 acres. Our section we've been leasing for the last 50 years. Now, if you look around, you see sand. You knew you were going to see sand. That's why they called it sand dunes. But if you would have been here in 1870, didn't look anything like this, looked like the first part of the ride. Imagine all trees, just filled this, trees. From end to end, no sand, open like it is today. And then a man named Charles Mears came up here after 1871. 1871, a huge fire happened in Chicago. It's called the Great Chicago Fire. They needed wood. Charles Mears was a lumber baron. He came up here, cut all the trees down, just strip mined the whole thing. Because right over there was Lake Michigan, and he could float those trees down. He made a lot of money. What What he didn't realize was going to happen after he did that is there was another big fire. But it lasted for about 5 days, according to records we have, and it burned everything down pretty much to the sand or close. There were a few remnants of other things. Then the sand started shifting, moving all over the place. It stayed that way till the 1950s. By that time, enough people had come here and they said, got a huge problem. In 56, they planted 600 acres of seed. That became this grass, you see. Does a good job of stabilizing dunes, slowed things down a lot to keep from the sands from moving so much. So we'll talk about that later, but let's go see some of this. Silver Lake to your right. We will be back later with much better views. This area here is called stumps. Hard to imagine. And man, Charles Bears cut a lot of trees down, but he didn't take the stumps with him. The stumps are not that pretty, nor are they that useful. These made it through the fire. They've been around a long, long time. Sand blasting on them, but people used to take a lot of them. So you don't have a lot of them left up here. Though some will be on the right and left throughout the ride. Some have a lot of really cool characteristics to them. Some are real plain. That's Lake Michigan, second largest of the 5 Great Lakes. Only one that's fully immersed into the United States. The other 4 we share with Canada. So, what lake is Lake Michigan in? What state? What state is Lake Michigan in? Anybody know?
Illinois and Indiana and Michigan.
Close. Liquid. No one ever gets that one. So now, if you look across there, it's 60 miles across to Wisconsin. We do share the lake with Wisconsin. 60 miles is actually the closest you can get to Wisconsin along the shoreline. Normally it's 73 miles. Here it's only 60 because we're on a peninsula. We're on a big chunk of land. Pushes us way out in the water, puts us close to our neighbors over there. So if you ever had that burning desire to swim to Wisconsin, this is where you do it. You save yourself 13 miles. The man named Jim Dreyer from Barnes Center, Michigan did do it. Started about a half a mile down here, free swam. 26 hours took him to get across. And he not only did this lake, he did all 5 of the Great Lakes, as well as the English Channel. Raises a lot of money for charity. So big time swimmer. So I've tried it once, got about halfway, got scared. I have not tried it again. So it's a little rough out there today. So a lot of shipwrecks here in the 1800s. 1874, President Grant started putting a lighthouse there, and they did. Tallest one on Lake Michigan is 1 mile down this beach. It's called Little Point Sabo. It is open Tuesday through Sunday to go up into till about 5 o'clock, but it's open every day to go visit. You can drive right by it. It's right by the road. It's a real easy one to visit, or you can pull in the park and enjoy yourself. It's a real easy walk to the water from there, about a 50 yards, 60 yards. So a real nice, easy one. And right before it's a little county park, if you want to pull in there, that's another easy one, 60 yards to the water. Not as easy as this, because I'm going to take you right down to the water. If you lean to the right, we stay dry. Sea eagles. Information before you get out. Hard to imagine. The water here was up on that beach. The land was just 3 summers ago, and we couldn't get out here. 6 inches warmer than it is today. Much damage on Lake Michigan and all the Great Lakes. So it was really nice for the water to recede. Water's at about 65 degrees. Still cool, but it's manageable. And if you need a restroom, they're located right there, 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 and there. Ladies to the left, gentlemen, you're to the right. So come on down. If you need a family picture, help with the group, let me know.